Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelvin, your host of Situations the Podcast.
And I'm your co-host, Miss Deanna.
How everybody doing out there on this beautiful Sunday day? Tiana, how you feel?
I'm pretty good. How
Good,
about
good.
you?
Uh, I feel good. I feel good. No complaints. No complaints.
Okay.
Yesterday was my birthday yesterday, and I feel good.
Hmm.
I feel like I'm 20 years old again. But
Okay.
right. I still feel like I got a lot of youth left in me. Uh,
That's
okay.
what's up.
Today we're going to be talking about marriage, okay? And we're going to
Okay.
be discussing why men feel that marriage is just a piece of paper, right?
Okay.
So
Hmm.
that's basically today's title. Titles is why marriage is just a piece of paper to men. So let's kick this show off.
Okay.
Question: why do you feel that some men feel that marriage is just a piece of paper?
I just feel like for a man, I'm not a man, but I just feel like when they decide they want to lock in and they want to be with you, and that's the only woman they want to be with, that's it for them. Like they don't need a piece of paper to tell them that they love you or that they want to provide for you or that they want to spend forever with you.
Right. Okay. I can agree with that because my thing was when I thought about it, to me, it was like
Hmm.
a piece of paper, a marriage certificate is not going to make the relationship any stronger or change the strength of the relationship. Like you said, if this is going to be
Right.
your person and this is going to be your forever person, then
Right.
that piece of paper shouldn't determine the longevity or the strength of the relationship. And that's how I feel about it.
Right.
Um, Do you think that when most men make that statement, do you think that's just an excuse to keep them from being or keep them from committing?
No, I don't think so because I mean, you can get people that never hadn't been married and been with the same person for 20 years or so.
Okay, excuse me.
What they got?
Well,
Common law marriage? You've been with a person 10 years?
right, right. Well, I'm gonna say a little different because I say yes because sometimes men look at that as a way to dodge the long term responsibility. I
Okay.
believe that way they don't have to deal with the consequences that come with a long term commitment. Um,
Okay.
but that's also I think for a weak man. I think only a weak man would take this approach, and that's just my opinion.
Hmm.
Because
Okay.
I believe marriage can be a beautiful thing, but it has to be done.
It
It
can
has to
be.
be with the right person. The right person has to be.
Right.
You have to be committed to that right person. If you got the right person, then it can be a beautiful thing. It really can.
Right. And y'all have to make up y'all own rules and vows and, what works for y'all, not what everybody else telling y'all what worked for grandma and them, because y'all different people.
Right, right, absolutely. And definitely times have changed, since, your grandparents was married,
Right.
you know. Um,
Hmm.
so you can't live by those standards. You can't go by those rules. Not in today's society anyway. Um, Question: Do you feel men? Do you do
Okay.
men fear the legal side of marriage more than the emotional side? What do you think about that?
I think the legal side.
Okay.
And
Uh,
I a part of me is like, okay, the traditional side of me would be like, we want to get married, join our union under God and everything like that, and have the certificate and stuff like that. But then to me, the other side is looking at it like it's a business, like it's a business contract. So,
right, right. That's true, and I must take the legal approach as well because sometimes
hmm
many men don't have to deal with that divorce laws and the alimony, the child support, and
right,
and I think that's what a lot of men hesitate on getting married because they don't have to deal with this type of
right.
stuff. When you have to deal with the alimony and child support and everything else
hmm
that goes with that. Abdul, what's going on, brother? We see you. We appreciate you tuning in. Um, so let me ask you: Is the fear of losing assets a real reason men avoid marriage?
I think it's one of them.
Okay, because I think that's a major problem because most men fear that the loss from a divorce it could be a major concern to them because
Right.
just for an example, the young brother that just went to the NFL, played for Colorado,
hmm
and he's now in the NFL. He's dating this young girl. Everyone was telling him, "Don't get married, get a prenup."
hmm
They haven't even been married. I don't think they've been
Okay.
married at 6 months yet, and she's already filed for a divorce, trying to get 40 million from him.
Okay.
That's a
That's
major
crazy.
problem. I think that's a major
Right.
issue. So I truly believe that this is why men are scared to take that next step because they have to face things like this. What do you think about
Yeah.
that?
Right. I totally agree with it. But to counteract that, I just feel like sometimes men make the wrong choices. It just be like you'll have a woman that's genuine, like maybe a woman helped you build your business up, but she's been your cheerleader the whole time. You skip over her, you leave her, and then you go marry the one, like you said, want the 40 million in under
Right,
six
right,
months.
right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But do you think this has a
She
lot to
ain't she ain't picked up a doggone piece of mail.
right? Ain't did nothing. Ain't caught a pass or nothing. Ain't did
No,
nothing. Ain't made a tackle or nothing. She won 40 million.
no,
That's crazy to me.
no, no.
Absolutely crazy. But let me say this: Do you think that has a lot to do with the
Okay.
the upbringing of a male?
It could have something to do with that, and it could have something to do with his surroundings. Just saying, I mean, for anybody that's not thinking about, a prenup or anything, or making sure their assets are protected at this point, like to say you never heard of that or you don't know nothing about that, you would have to be living under a rock because we done seen it happen time and time again.
Right. I agree with that. I totally agree. So let me ask you this. Do you think a man can be
Okay.
deeply committed without ever getting married?
I do.
Okay.
I do because what were they doing before all of this came into play? To
Right.
you know what I'm saying, society, humanity didn't just start yesterday.
Right. So why do you think women be so gung ho or pressed to want to get married and have these big lavish weddings? What do you think is the reason for that?
I don't know, maybe to more so make them feel like they are the prize that got selected. Um, we was just talking about this. I don't really care about a big wedding. I think that's for the people, whether they gonna yay or nay about you, they gonna talk, either way. But I feel like if I'm connected to somebody and we gonna take that leap or whatever, we can go to the courthouse if that's what we want to do, and we can celebrate how we want to. If we want to have a party and invite, family and friends, that's fine. But I would rather invest the money, or we go on a dream vacation, or we invest in something together to just start it off right. That's just my take on it. I don't
Right.
know, why I guess with other women, maybe that was a childhood dream. Like they've just always wanted the fairy tale of having a really big wedding and, walking down the aisle in their, beautiful dress and everything like that. So
Right. Right.
I think it's just to each his own.
Right. Right. Well, one thing I can honestly say, and I can say this from experience, is you know, I wish I knew then what I knew now, because I definitely would have took a different approach.
Hmm.
When I once was married,
Okay.
I definitely would have took a different approach.
Hmm.
Because to me, like you said, that money could have been used for something completely different. That money could have possibly been put down towards
Yeah.
some property, a house. That was, to me. Now that I look back
Right.
on it, it was just a waste of money to me. So um,
Well, that's what I was saying. It was like invest something that would give us a head start versus, you know,
right,
this big lavish party for everybody else. And then half of them, they probably don't wish you make it or not. You
right,
just never
right,
know.
right. Yeah, because like I say, when you're spending that kind of money on a lavish wedding, no wedding, if it's lavish, no weddings can
Hmm.
run from 50,000 or better. And you could have easily
Yeah.
took that money, like you say, and got a jump start on a business, or a down payment on your home. Um,
Right.
something that can
Right.
take that money for it to make money, opposed to taking that money and never seeing it
Benefit
again.
us.
That's
Right.
that's crazy to me.
Right.
Okay, we got a comment here from my man Abdul. He said marriage is supposed to be symbolize the trust and love between two or more people. Yeah, that's true. But let me ask you this: why do women
Right.
feel they need to have this big, lavish, over the top wedding? For anybody that's tuned in right now, can somebody please explain that to me? Why do women feel that they have to have a big wedding? Why not? A big wedding can run you anywhere from 50,000 or better. Why not go to City Hall and get married? You stating the same vows, you're taking the same vow, you stand on the same principles, but take that 50, 60, 70, $80,000 and put that toward your dream home. Something that you can actually physically see. Because after the marriage is over with, that money is gone.
Right.
You never see that money again.
Right.
That was the only problem that I have. But like I said, if I knew then what I knew now,
Hmm.
I definitely would have took a different
Right.
approach. Uh, you know,
Hmm.
I don't know, but like you said, that's to each his own. But let me ask you this: do you
Right.
think that's the reason why a lot of men wait for a long time to propose?
It could be.
Okay,
It could be. And then they just some may want to make sure they ready to give up their players card. They really ready, for that big commitment. It could
right,
be a few different factors.
right. Okay. Well, I have a clip that I'm going to play, and
Okay.
after reviewing the clip,
Mhm.
it made a lot of sense to me what was being said.
Mhm.
I didn't value it that way. I didn't look at it that
Okay.
way until after I seen the clip. Um, but what I'm gonna do at this
Okay.
time, I'm gonna play the clip, and I want you to be the judge of what we're about to review. And then after we look at it, we'll come right back and discuss it.
Tell me why my grandma just told me. She said, stay away from men that tell you that marriage is just a piece of paper. So I said, why is that, grandma? She answered and she said, money is a piece of paper. Immediately, I already knew where she was going with this. She said, money is a piece of paper, but we get up every day and we go and grind for a piece of paper. You got people out here that literally steal pieces of paper. You got people out here that are scamming for paper, deceiving people. That's what she mean. She said, you got people out here killing each other over some paper. So let me bring it on home for y'all. She then proceeded to tell me that that piece of paper holds value. Marriage is a piece of paper, but it holds value. She said that piece of paper is a symbolism of unity between two people. She said men only tell us those things because they are not equipped to be in unison. When I say my grandma humbled me so quick.
Okay. What you think about what she said?
I saw that clip before.
Okay.
I saw that clip before. I can agree with that, but even to what we were saying now, it's just we're talking about grandma, so it just depends on, um,
The
yeah, it's a
era, the
union
time.
between two people, but it's not just two people. Because you got the IRS involved. Now you got to file jointly. You got to do all this different stuff business wise, where everybody's in the pot when financially in your marriage.
Right. Okay.
So
So so so do you think that piece of paper that they spoke of, the marriage certificate, I mean, do you honestly think that piece of paper still holds
mhm.
value in today's society?
I think it only holds value in the financial capacity, because if there's a divorce happening, either party could get alimony. They're trying to fight for assets that they may not necessarily didn't help build. Other than that, people cheating every day that's married, they lying, they not keeping no vows and commandments or commitments or nothing that they said.
Right.
So I don't think it hold the same weight and value like it used to. And that's what I'm saying. If you really have two people that's committed to each other and they say we don't want everybody in our business, we know what we want and we committed and we gonna stay true to each other, and they go to have a 30, 40, 50 year marriage without having the state and everybody else in their business, it could work too. I just think it depends on the mindset of the people.
Right. Right. Um so let me ask you this. Do you honestly think
Okay.
that the prenuptial agreements do you think that's why a lot of men are pushing toward the prenuptial agreements before marriage to protect or only allow that woman to gain
Yes.
control of a portion of their assets?
Yes, but I agree with that because I'm like I said, if she didn't help do anything, why do you think you're entitled to everything?
Right. Okay.
I
So,
mean, we can look at the Tyler Perry movie. Remember Diary of a Mad Black Woman?
right, right,
When she helped him, she was a secretary for the business and all that. And he left her and went and got whatever her name was.
right,
And she took him for everything.
right,
But then the one that was married to him the first time, she still helped him, nursed him back to health and everything. Even though she got her little revenge in between them two.
right. All right.
It was just like,
Okay. Well, we have a
but
comment.
it was,
We have a comment from Anita.
Okay.
Anita, we appreciate you tuning in. We see you. Anita said it does hold value. Well, Anita, can you be more specific? Can you be a little more in depth with your response? Because we know at some point it holds some particular value. Um, but doesn't necessarily strengthen the relationship. Does that piece of paper strengthen the relationship? Is that piece of paper gonna hold the marriage together? Is that piece of paper that strong? So give us a little more in detail of with your answer. Uh Abdul said, I don't agree. The sister just spoke about the marriage license in truth. You need a license to legalize marriage based upon business principles. That's facts. That's facts. Okay, Anita said that she was driving. Anita, please be careful out there
I
driving.
just, like I said, I
See, Anita out there watching the podcast driving. Okay, well, okay, Anita, we'll wait for your reply
is
then.
that my auntie Nita?
Anita,
I'm trying to say, is that my auntie Nita?
what's the last name? Housley?
Yeah,
Auntie,
that's my auntie. Hey,
Auntie.
TT.
Yeah, Auntie, be careful out there driving now. Okay, we got another comment. Barry, what's going on? We see you. We appreciate you tuning in. Barry says no. So, Barry, you feel that um, the marriage certificate doesn't hold any value? Is that what you saying no to? Back to Abdul. Abdul, okay, let me see how I want to answer this. He said, I don't agree. The sister just spoke about marriage license and truth. You need a license to legalize marriage based upon principles. Well, we understand. We understand you need a license for that. We understand you need a marriage license. But what we're trying to get at is, does that marriage license strengthen the relationship? Do you necessarily need a license? Well, let me put it this way. If you are committed to your partner and you guys been together 10, 12 years, but haven't been married yet, and the marriage is going great, okay? But no one has even spoke about getting married. But now you got a married couple over here that's been married the same amount of time. Should that couple that's been together that's been together already for 10, 12 years without a license, should they change their dynamics just for a piece of paper? That's basically what I'm getting at. Tell me what you think about that.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm kind of 50-50 on it. I think it's whether you have the marriage license or not, it's still the mindset on the couple, you know what I'm saying? On
Right,
first of
right,
all, the respect and value that they have on each other.
right,
And, are they in alignment with their goals and things that they want to do and growing together and stuff like that? So, you know, if they want to get married and then cheat, they'll still cheat. If they don't have a marriage license and want to cheat, they still gonna cheat. So whether you have the marriage license or not, you know what I'm saying, all the core values that they possess will still have to be there in each scenario.
right. I can agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Um,
But with the license, when it comes to certain business things, death, health, it gives that other person the authority to um, act on a, behalf, or, step in, and, power of attorney is kind of, with them. They are able to make decisions that they probably normally wouldn't be able to make.
right.
So that could be a protected asset for male or woman, whoever's, in the marriage.
But let me ask you something. This is a question directly, you know, for you personally.
Okay.
Are you a woman that feels you have to get married to be? Are you a woman that feel you have to be married?
No,
Okay.
I don't. But I mean, if it presents itself and I feel like it's the right person, I would say yes. It's been presented to me before and I turned it down
Okay.
because things were happening inside of the relationship that were already red flags. And it's like, if I'm seeing this stuff now and there's no change behavior in a positive way, why would I want to get married? I'm not going to sign up for years of that.
Right.
So
Okay.
for me, it was a no.
Okay. Abdul made a comment. Abdul said, "No. The question is, who governs the marriage? Either it's the government or God. This determines the mindset in the marriage."
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Deanna, how was you? How was you? You want to reply to that? How do you want to respond to that?
Because what I was gonna say, wasn't it something where you could the couples would take the Bible and sign it, and their marriage would they would be legally married that way too? Wasn't it something about that?
Um.
It wasn't an actual marriage certificate. It was they took a Bible and they wrote their names and signed it.
Okay. I'm not. That's my first time ever hearing that. Abdul, have you ever heard of anything of that nature? Abdul is Muslim as well, so maybe he might be able to
Okay.
shine some insight, on what you just the question you just proposed.
Hmm.
Uh, Barry said you exactly right. Okay. All right. So you don't feel that you necessarily have to get married, right, Fiona?
No, but like I said, if it's with the right person, who I don't feel like I necessarily have to. But like you said, like we were saying, if it's the right person, it would be a yes. But it's like if I'm with somebody and we don't feel like we needed to do that, I'm okay with that too.
Right. Okay.
It just depends on the person.
We got DJ Q Ball. What's going on, bro? We see you. I appreciate you tuning in. Okay, Nita's back. She said that y'all in the chat today. Hold on one second. Let me catch up here. Let's go to Anita. Anita made a comment. She said, no, don't need a license. It depends on the couple. My values is not just going to shack up with a man. So commitment for me is marriage. To each his own. I can understand that. I can understand that. I mean, some women want to be married.
Yeah.
Some
I,
people and some women,
right.
what like Deanna said, they choose they if the right person present itself, then okay. But if not, then she's still okay with it one way or other. So like you say, to each his own.
I'm
Everybody
not gonna
having a
feel like
different
I'm
opinion
not
on it.
fulfilled as a person.
Go ahead, Deanna. I'm sorry.
For me, like I'm not gonna feel like I failed if I don't get married. I'm not gonna feel like that.
Okay. Okay. Abdul made a comment. Abdul said they use the Bible is new in the institution of marriage. So I think, Deanna, I guess you was right.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that was my first time. That's my first time ever hearing it. Hearing that. So I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
But you guys taught me something
Hmm.
today. Um, Barry also made another comment. He said it's called the 7-year legal marriage of living together without ever going before a judge. I think that's what that's
Hmm.
didn't your boy just present something like that saying something like that recently? Um, well, never mind. I don't even want to say his
Oh.
name. But
Oh. Okay.
Anita said, "Oh yes, that's my niecey poo." Oh no, she said, "Yes, that is my niecey." Okay, yeah, that's our Tiana.
No, now for me, like no, I don't like, okay, so if we go on biblical with it, under God, I would say yes, I would want to be married. You know what I'm saying? So like I wouldn't be shacking up with a man. Cause like now, I don't shack up with men. I'm not sexually active right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like under that regard, it would be yes, you know.
Okay.
So but so, like I said, I don't feel like I would feel like I'm less than a woman or unfulfilled if I don't. Um, it would just like I said, I would just want it to be with the right person.
Right. But let me ask you this. Let's direct it to you personally again. Let's say, for instance,
Hmm.
you got the right person. The right person is there for you. He
Okay.
checks off all the boxes. Everything is perfect, but marriage never comes
Okay.
up. Then what?
I would ask him what's his view on it, if he ever considered it. How do he feel about it? I'm a communicator, so I can be with somebody and something never come up because I ask questions. That's
Okay.
how I'm gonna get to know you.
Right. The reason I asked
But
you that was
I would
because
ask
my
that
next
early
line of
on.
questioning was,
It's just certain.
go ahead. Finish your statement.
Mhm.
Finish your statement.
No, I was just saying like it when I initially meet somebody or within the first 6 months or whatever, all of those questions are being raised.
Okay.
I mean, the first one is gonna be like, what are your intentions? What are you looking for? Like, what would you like to have with me? Like, I want to know your point of view, like to see if we're compatible,
Right. Okay.
and vice versa.
And the reason I asked you that was because it was in alignment with my next question. So my next question was, can
Okay.
the right woman change a man's mindset on marriage?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Uh,
You can tell when
hold that thought 1 second, Tiana.
you can tell when a woman is supportive.
Okay.
Okay.
Barry made a comment. He said, "Believe me when I tell you, life can be great. Living together without either being married. Trust me." Um, I can see that. I can see it. I mean, I can see exactly where you're coming from when you make that statement, Barry. Because like I say, I once too used to be married, and I know what it's like to be in that that predicament. But like I said, if I knew then what I knew now, but then again, I'm not going to even make that statement. I'm not going to even say that. It's just making sure you have the right person. I'm gonna say it like that. You know, what strengthens the marriage is just being with the right person, having the right person that you tied to the hip with. If you don't have the right person, it's gonna end in a divorce regardless. So go ahead, Diana. Finish making your statement. I'm
Right.
sorry.
And when y'all getting ready to when y'all facing no, it's just when y'all facing those trials, if something happened, you're gonna see if both of y'all gonna weather the storm, step up to the plate, be there for one another, whatever y'all gotta do, you know what I'm saying, to like stay together and support one another.
Right. Um.
If you get somebody, I didn't sign up for this, what do you mean?
Right. Well, let me say this.
That's the part that trim me old people, y'all. Okay.
Well, no, finish your statement, Diana. I'm sorry.
I would just say like a lot of people want the glitz and the glam of the elaborate wedding. Oh, everything was so amazing. It looked so heavenly, all this and that. And you get up there in front of all of these witnesses and saying for richer, for poorer, for health, for sickness, for
Right.
whatever.
Right.
And
Right.
then as soon as the stuff come, you be ready to dip out.
Right. Barry just made a comment. He pretty much saying the same thing you just said, Deanna. He said some people be saying marriage. He said some people say being in a marriage should be 50-50. This is not true. A marriage requires 100% of both people. That's why marriages fail, because they only want to get 50. Only want to, yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, that's true too. That's true.
Right.
Anita made
But
another
it may
comment.
not be, it may not even be 100 from both people.
Right. Anita made a comment. She says that first time living with a man, so they don't take time to learn about each other, learn about each other's baggage. That may still be need to be addressed. That's true too. And moving too fast.
Absolutely.
Like Deanna said,
Absolutely.
you got to ask questions.
Yep.
You that's what the.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. When you're dating someone, that's what you need to be dating someone for. To find out what their likes and their
Exactly.
dislikes are, what their mindset is. What
I'm
direction are they
asking
headed
him,
in?
what's your damn favorite color?
Right. You need to be able to know your partner.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you dating someone just to sleep
Exactly.
with them, then of course you're not gonna know
Right.
the answer to these questions, because you're not seeking truth. I mean, you're not seeking answers. You're not seeking the answers for 'em. You
Right.
need to. That's what dating is all about. You have to ask these questions. And
Right.
Tiana, I totally agree with you 100%. If you don't ask these questions, how would you ever know? Right?
Right. And that's why I tell people, it's like, don't get mad. It's like, that's what it's there for. If this man said he's looking for a particular thing and this and that, and I know I'm not that, look, I don't want to waste your time or mine. We're not compatible in the things that we both want. It was nice meeting you. I hope you find what you're looking for. But you're not gonna put me down, or it's gonna be a weird space that we're in because you're expecting me to do or be something that I'm not capable of doing or being.
Right. Okay. I agree. I agree.
And the other thing, who's that? What's that? Barry?
Yes.
That was his name.
Very. Yes.
When he was saying both people show up for to being 100%. Each person may not even have 100%. It may be one person with 100% at the time because, okay, say for instance the spouse gets sick with COVID, they down. Hell, they ain't got 10%.
Right.
But the marriage don't get thrown away because somebody's not feeling well.
Okay.
I don't think it should be no number. I just think okay, did we saying forever we in it, we in it. No matter what.
Right. No matter what, if you're in it, you're in it. I agree with that.
Yeah. That's the answer, not 100%. The answer is no matter what.
Right. Okay. We got Abdul. Abdul made another comment. He said the Holy Quran teaches that
Okay.
whatever it is in that place, I'm sorry. He said the Holy Quran teaches that whatever it is that people believe in, they are bounded by that. It's a contractual agreement. Um, okay.
I can agree with that.
All right. I would say I can see it. I can definitely see that.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. It depends on the mindset of the people. So yeah, it's off of their belief system.
Okay. Um, so let me say this. Do you think men value loyalty and longevity without the marriage label?
I want to say yes, but they'll have it all along and they'll still cheat and do other stuff. So in that regard, it will be no. Because you could have a woman that's loyal, that's showing up for you, that's being there, that's showing like this is your person or whatever, and you still, we have seen it where the men have messed up. So do they? You
Um,
would say yes. I think a man value being respected.
okay. You know, I believe many do. I believe that actions and consistency matters more than titles. That's my
Yeah.
take on it. You know, my thing is I can be with a woman for 20 years or 15 years or whatever it is. And
Mhm.
I'm going to treat
Mhm.
her as if we are married. You know, I'm going to do everything I'm supposed to do as a
Right.
man to make sure she's taken
Right.
care of. And I would take that same approach if I was married. I'm still going to do those same things.
Right.
So it wouldn't matter to me whether we
Right.
had that piece of paper or not. If you're my girl, if you're my lady, you're my woman,
Right.
whatever title we're using, you're gonna get the same treatment.
Yeah.
You're gonna get that same treatment, whether we're married or not.
But that's why I said right. That's why I said yes and no, because you fit under the category of the man where it would be yes. But we all know men that, oh man, that's my ride or die right there. I don't never got to worry about her. Oh, you hear me and bragging. My girl don't cheat. My girl cook. My girl this. My girl got a good job. My girl got. And then it's like, so why you stepping out on this girl? Why didn't you marry her? Why you not, even if you didn't marry her, why you not committed to her and just her?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you're right about that.
Because remember that one of them other podcasts we was talking about, I think it was Young Miami and them, when they was saying it seemed like the side chick winning. Remember that?
Right, right, right. Yeah, I remember that.
It's like the woman at home doing the cooking, the cleaning, the kids, the homework, and all this and that. And then he's out on the lavish trips, the shopping sprees, and everything else with the side chick.
Right,
So she at home being loyal and all that stuff or whatever. But what I mean in that regard, if something happened to the man or something happened, they was married, the benefit that she would get in that scenario would be because she's the wife, she's entitled to everything.
right.
But he
Okay,
just his
we got a
mindset would
come.
have to be right, whether it was a piece of paper or not.
Um, okay, we got a comment from Abdul. These wording,
Okay.
it'd be so small, it'd be hard to read them. He said it was wise not to.
Hmm.
Hold on, these comments coming in so fast. He said, it was wise. It was wise not to things misconstructed because Abdul, I can't understand exactly what you're trying to say here now in your last comment. Um, but he said he agreed with me 100%. Oh, okay. Okay, he said not to get things misconstrued. Okay, all right, I got you. I got you. Yeah, because I couldn't make out exactly what you were saying.
Hmm. Okay.
And Barry made a comment. Barry said, yeah, the reason he's stepping out is because he's not present. The reason he Barry said the reason he's stepping out because he has nothing to present. Um, when you say he has nothing to present, what do you mean, Barry? What do you mean he has nothing to present? Do you mean do he has nothing to present to the woman that he lives with or the woman he has at home? This is the reason why he's stepping out? Is that the direction you're going in? If so, let me know.
So what do he has right? Because what do he have to present to the other woman that's out in the street?
All right. That's why I want to be a little more, clarified a little more for us. Well, my next
Hmm.
question was how do religion beliefs influence men's views on marriage? But I think we pretty much tapped on that already because um I think that question
Yeah.
was answered already.
It
Okay, let
was.
me move on to the next question. Let me ask you this then. Do men think women benefit more from marriage than they do?
I believe so, but it just it depends on the dynamics of the marriage. I mean, because we've seen men get alimony and everything else. Look at that Mary J. Blige situation.
Right, right. You're right.
She
Yeah,
had to
I
be on
can.
that stage working hard and just giving the man.
Right, he not doing anything but collect. Yeah, I can see that. Um, okay. Barry said that. Okay, Deanna. He said yes. The woman that he's living with, he can't bring nothing to the table. So you feel that's why he's stepping
Right.
out because the woman that he lives with at home. So that means the woman he's stepping out with, she's she's allowing anything then. Because if he has nothing to present to the woman at
Right.
home,
Right.
what does he present to the woman, the side chick, or the woman he's out in the street dealing with? It has to be something that's being presented to her for her to even have any interest.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, Tiana? So
But we was at you at
go
right,
ahead.
but you was asking a question about loyalty and everything like that, and we were saying the woman at home was presenting all of that. So why is he stepping out if that's important to men? If that woman is respectful, loyal, consistent, all that or whatever, why does she get played?
All right. Okay. All right. So let me say this. Let me ask you this then. Um,
Hmm.
how do you think a man? How do you think fatherhood um affect a man's view on marriage?
I think it affects anybody view the man or the woman because if the daddy wasn't there, she have abandonment issues. So she may try to overcompensate, do more of this and that because she doesn't want to feel that again. So I can say in some regards, some women don't leave and they accept things because they don't want to be alone from those abandonment issues. And
Right.
from the man's point of view, if he's never seen that, he don't really know what's healthy and what's a display.
Okay. Barry made another comment. He stated that he said this conversation is about a piece of paper. Does a piece of paper marry anymore? But he's stepping out with the Sanchez because
Hmm.
she is willing to accept anything. She just won't know. She just won't know what she just won't know will mess up the home. I guess that's what he's trying to say. Then he said he's talking from experience. Okay. Um,
I,
Anita.
I I can agree with that.
Okay, Anita made a couple comments here. She said some people after divorce choose not to remarry, and some do. You never truly
Hmm.
become you
Right.
never truly become one married, you're born individual, so stop expecting that to change married or coupling. Okay. Um, let's see here. Abdul. Damn, these comments coming in too fast. I can't keep up. Okay, Anita says, Look in the mirror first. Stop making excuses. Communicate. If must, move on. If you move on with your life. That's true. That's true, Anita. Um,
Right. Right.
I absolutely agree with that. I agree with that 100%. Like I said, because that first marriage failed, that don't mean the next one won't be it won't be the right one. You just like I said, it depends on the individual. It has to be the right person. You have to marry the right person. Like you said,
Right.
these questions need to be raised prior. And I think that's why a lot of people make mistakes at the honor, because a lot of people don't take the time out to get to know one another. I
They
think
don't.
they just moving too fast. That's just my personal opinion.
Yes. Because guess what? You can you can you can have two people that are financially set and stable, so that's not going to be a problem area. But it could be if one's an overspender or funds are coming up missing out of the accounts, and they're not accounted for. So it just depends on the mindset of both people and the expectations and commitments that they want. Don't be saying stuff that you want people to hear. If you like such and such, then you have to say that, and you have to let that other person tell you if they agree with such and such.
Right.
But people be so busy putting out a representative or saying we got married and 6 months later saying that this is not the person I married. We know because you married the damn representative.
Right. Okay. Hold your train of thought for a second.
Looking to boost your brand? Advertise with Situations, the podcast where real-life stories meet real-time conversations. Reach engaged listeners and grow your business today.
Let me ask you this. Do you think it's a fear of losing
Okay.
individuality a real concern for men in marriage today?
Mm-mm. Because if he feel like that, he never had it in the first place.
Okay.
There's no way. There's no way I'm gonna be with a man and he gonna be thinking he losing individuality when he's supposed to be the head. How could you look? You gonna come in lost? So where we going? Down?
Right.
I'm
Right.
just saying, like, you shouldn't be losing anything. You should be gaining a helpmate in whatever capacity that is.
But
So that's already the wrong mindset.
right. Some men may be under the impression that or fear that marriage may require them to change or compromise too much.
But what's too much? Because if you saying it's forever, your forever person, you ain't taking your homeboys down the aisle. You ain't taking your mama down the aisle. You asked this one woman or person in life to take them down the aisle, and you wanted them to get up there and for rich for poor, this and that, and put all these stipulations. Why wouldn't you change your compromise? Ain't no too much. It's whatever it takes for us.
Right, right. Uh, Anita made a comment. She said, my pastor at our wedding said to over 360 guests, death do us part. Does not mean that our other person dies. It's okay that the relationship is over because it continues when you be dead. That's true. That's true. I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I can totally agree with that. Um, Abdul, he said, remember this, there's a difference between marriages that are governed by the government and opposed by the governed by God. Everything that is governed by the government is about
Right.
capitalism. Fatherhood is only relevant if the man is the breadwinner.
Right.
Okay. I can agree with that, Abdul. I can agree with that statement as well.
What was the last part
He said
about what
fatherhood is
fatherhood?
only relevant if the man is the breadwinner.
I don't know if I agree with that.
What is it that you feel you disagree with, Yana?
So they're saying fatherhood is only relevant if it comes to money.
He said his last statement was
I'm trying to understand.
fatherhood.
So like if right.
He said fatherhood is only relevant if the man is the breadwinner.
So if he not the breadwinner, then he's not relevant. That's what I'm trying to understand. Because in my book, that doesn't matter.
Okay.
Because so if the man had an amazing job and then he fell on hard times or the company did a massive layoff, now I'm gonna say he not relevant no more. You see what I'm saying?
Right, I agree with you.
Like
I see what
that's
direction
why I
you're
was like, I
going in
don't
with
agree
that.
with the last part because for me, he's still gonna be relevant because guess what? I'm a woman and I don't care what nobody say. The male presence and his dominance being when them kids get to acting up, when they need leadership in a certain type of way, them kids be rebelling against women. Or I had to fight my kids. But guess what? If the dad was more present, then and it's not my fault that he wasn't. Because I don't care if they had money or not. Come see about these kids, come get these kids in line, come show some leadership. Their male presence, his male voice, all that. It matters. It matters. It matters whether money is there or not. I'm sorry.
Right.
But like I said, that's just me. A lot of women, I can agree with his stance on it because a lot of women don't think like that. A lot of women actually think like he said, but it's a lot of women that don't.
Right. He said, read my statement from the beginning. I read it from the beginning, bro. It says, remember, there is a difference between marriage that are governed by the government as opposed to being governed by God. Everything that is governed by the government is about
Right.
capitalism. Fatherhood is only relevant if the
We said
man
that.
is the breadwinner. That's what I said. That's what
I
the
don't agree with that.
okay. Um, but let me ask the fellas this. Fellas that's tuned in, all you guys that's in the chat, let me ask you this. I can't ask my co-host this because she's not a man. But I want to ask you guys this. What advice would you give young men that's looking to get married? I'm talking to the fellas that's in the chat. What advice would you give these young guys today that's looking to get married? So let me have you guys' opinion on that. And Thiana, if you can tap in, if you if you can answer, do so. Okay.
Okay.
But I want to see what they have to
Okay.
say, and then I'm gonna say what I would say.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I got one more question that I want to ask. What do you think that married men say now about once believing marriage was just a piece of paper? What do you think they would say now?
Um, I still got the same stance. It's 50-50 with me. Some of them still believing that it's a piece of paper, and some of them actually seeing the importance of it because of the substance and consistency of the person that they're with.
Okay. Okay.
So it just depends on the person. If you get with the right woman and she help elevate you and she's there and she's supportive, she's caring, nurturing, all that stuff, whatever, and then he starts seeing his life being blessed, from the biblical or God standpoint, and saying the man that finds a wife finds a good thing, and he obtains favor with the Lord. So that could be true. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because now he's being blessed and he's prospering and he has peace and all of that versus him being out in the street and being single and being with random women. So it just depends on the mindset of the man and the woman that he selected, like we've been saying the whole time.
Right. Okay. I think Abdul came back and cleared up what he was saying. He said he's referring to the institution, not the moral values that you're speaking of,
Okay.
Tiana. He said he's speaking of the
Okay. Okay.
institution. Okay.
Okay. Okay. I agree. I
All
agree.
right. And Anita made a comment. Anita said,
Because I'm like, I'm not gonna
premarital
just
counseling.
devalue.
Go ahead, Tiana. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, I'm not just gonna devalue a man because he don't have money today. You know what I'm saying? Like, I brought Christmas gifts or did things and put the kid's father's name on there, and we wasn't seeing eye to eye at all, and we haven't even been married. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still not gonna put this man down.
Right. Right.
I just did what I had to do. Because
Well,
guess what? The kids just like looking like I got loving parents and they both care about me.
okay. Anita made a comment. She said premarital counseling. Okay, I guess she's answering the questions that I posed to the fellas. They haven't yet to answer that
Yeah,
question yet. So I can agree with that too, Anita. Premarital counseling. But this is what I'm gonna give.
right.
Deanna, you want to go first? Or you want me to say what I need to say first on a question that I pose on?
You can go first.
Okay, this is what I would say. I would tell any young man that's looking to get married. I would tell them to take their time, know yourself first, and communication will always be key in the relationship. And don't get married just because it's expected. That's what I would tell any young
Right,
guy, any young man that's looking to marry anybody. Take your time, communicate, and don't jump into something just because it's expected. That's my take on it. What you think, Deanna?
I agree wholeheartedly.
Okay.
I agree.
Um. Well, I got one final question that I want to pose, but I want to say once again, I want to give you guys in the chat. I want to show you guys a lot of love because you guys really showed up. You guys stuck it out with us for the entire hour, and I truly appreciate that. Once again,
Yes.
we do this podcast because of you. You guys are the reason we get on every week and we talk mature adult content. And we hope that someone somewhere can take something or learn something from what we speak of every week and apply it to everyday life. So I
Right.
just want to say thank you guys once again for being
Right.
such a great audience and rocking this uh, episode with rocking with us for this entire episode. Gianna, you want to say something? You got something you
Yes.
wanna add?
I just really love, the feedback and how everybody's getting more engaged and, commenting and voicing their opinions and, different views on everything. That's what it's about. It's not about now we want to produce facts, if we have them, but it's about just hearing each other out, gaining a better clarity and understanding, and just all of us taking something away that we can apply, and keep moving forward so we all can just be better. That's it.
Right, I agree. Um, Barry made a comment. Barry said, he said, today's young men are scared to take on responsibilities, want to work and provide for a family. That's how we are losing our society right now today. I can agree with that, Barry. I can agree with that wholeheartedly.
Me too.
Because like you said, a lot of these young guys don't know nothing. They really don't know nothing about taking on those type of responsibilities. So I can see that.
They don't.
Uh, Abdul said there were black law created just for black people. It was called No Man in the House. Black women couldn't receive government assistance if there was a man in the home. Okay. I can recall that. I can recall that as well.
Yep.
Uh, okay, guys. I think that's going to conclude our show for today. Once again, I want to say thank you guys for tuning in to Situations the Podcast. You know, this is a show that we produce every week, every Sunday at 6 o'clock. We're going to be right here. And I just want to say thank you guys for spending the last hour with us and showing your love and support. We couldn't do this without you guys. So I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you guys for tuning in to today's show. We greatly appreciated it. We look forward to seeing you next Sunday for another amazing episode of Situations the Podcast.
Okay, everyone. There you have it. Once again, I'm your host, Kelvin.
And I'm your co-host, Miss Tiana.
And we look forward to seeing you guys next week. We want you guys to stay blessed and be safe. Peace.